Okay, what is the first thing you remember as a child?
Pause.
I don't know.
Well, she has to think back a few years.
Well, I sure do.
Yeah.
I can remember very old, 3, 4, maybe 4, 5. The folks, you know, they lived way up there on the hills, they didn't go to church very often. I guess his dad's gonna plant his grain. Him and mother's out in the granary, sacking up wheat. And I was standing on a bushel box that tipped over with me. I sit down and I cut back my knee, but back into my knee there. I can remember that. I wasn't very big. I used to have to drive the cows up a lane out the pasture.
Alone?
We'd go down one hill and up another. You've been up there, haven't you?
Now this is at 9 Mile?
No, it wasn't there. It was over farther. It was down.
It's up on the dry farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going then uphill. And after we go up the hill and going down, it was all in the morning does up there. And it started howling. I just hated that sound. I started to get the cows up there and get the bait, go open the shed and turn them loose and run back home.
How old were you when you did that? How old were you when you started doing that?
5 or 6 years old.
5 or 6, and you did it by yourself?
Yeah. Not always hurt and went home. Another time, you got some more?
Yeah.
We went to Anderson's. That was the neighbors on there. We never had Anderson's. I mean, neighbors up there. They came up from Utah. My dad went down and met them down to the depot down here, helped move up there, and they moved there about a quarter mile, just north of where the folks lived. And they had 2 girls, Elaine and Elaine. There was 2 families. Elaine was the Anderson, Lottie was the Norby. And they were just screwed up just like sisters. They were our first friends, I guess. I didn't visit very often. And one day, me and Ross goes out to play out by the water trough. There's a water trough just east of the house. And we had water to move down that Marsh Creek up there. It's not Mount Canyon. We got water piped in the house. Not in the house, out there, the trough. I looked up and here come a bunch of sheep. I'd never seen a sheep in my life. They lights out on me. I was running the house and going outside like them sheep went in. I had never seen a sheep.
Where were they coming from, do you know? Where were they coming from?
Anderson's had sheep.
You didn't know it?
No. I don't know, they got away or something. I don't know, they come down there. They wanted to drink water. They went through the water trough and got a drink. Well, another time, I couldn't know how old I was, remember. It was Christmas time. My dad went out to do the chores, and Santa Claus had been there. He come back in and says, Santa Claus dropped his doll head out here, and I found it. He must have fell out of his package, too. He come brought it into me, and it was just a doll head to put on the doll. Had the body there, but the head wasn't on it.
Your doll?
Uh-huh.
Was it a porcelain head that it broke or something? And so it was a porcelain.
Do you still have it?
Huh?
Do you still have the doll?
No. That's what happened to it.
Mm.
I don't know what happened to my last doll. Last doll was when Bert was a baby, and she liked my doll better than she did hers. And I guess the doll's done up with the things that she had. Mother had in my little bag, and I don't know what happened to mine. My doll was more like a doll, and her was just a baby doll, and she liked mine better than she did hers. So that was my last doll, and I was 8 years old then.
What was the house like up at, what was the house like when you lived on the dry farm?
It was a one-room house. It had a porch like this built on the front. And then the north end was closed in, had 3 walls. There was a door in the back. And that went out in the backyard. In the summertime, the folks had a kitchen out there, a little kitchen stove out there. They did the cooking out there in the summertime. And make more in the house. And it's 3 separators out in there. Mother used to make butter and sell it, and we'd sell eggs. Another time, staying with us, and the mother and I was all going to town. And the folks had to go down the Dugway. One day was going to town and one horse would go back, and they started running down there, and they jumped out of, she had to hold the eggs, she jumped out of the buggy over the wheels and never broke an egg. Another time, Mother Virginia to go shopping, we had, remember, one horse buggy that day, we drove one horse buggy. He coming back, and I was coming down, he started running. Mother said, jump out. I said, I can't find a place to jump.
Oh, so what, did you get the horse under control?
The horse got loose and she was trying to stop the horse, and the horse broke loose and run home.
Oh, and so you went loose.
Then we were left there.
You got
Just south of the Virginia store out there. There was kind of a little dip in there where there was a creek running down through there somewhere, and that's where it started. And he broke loose and come home, and Dad saw him and knew something had happened, so he jumped on him and brought him back. And we sat there till he come back.
At least you were okay, didn't tip over or anything.
Yeah.
How far from home were
I
you?
think about that now.
How far from home were you?
That's Virginia.
Oh, this was out there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They live down there where they are now, or where they are now.
Yeah, well, not exactly. Well, how old were you when you moved to that house?
9.
You were 9.
That was like
I didn't start school till I was 6 years old.
that was like being in a city, wasn't it? Moving from up in there into Cambridge.
Well, it was in the city, it was out in the country.
But it was, you still had neighbors out there, though, didn't you? Well, you didn't really up in the.
We didn't have neighbors in the city. Didn't have neighbors there. I don't remember that.
Well, all these were there, weren't they?
All of us from the north over. The bulls, if they lived there then, I forgot if they was there then or not. I believe they must have been there. Andrew Newbold.
Why were you 8 when you started school?
Oh, they lived up the farm. They didn't think about it and just kept me out of school. And
Did they teach you at the home or
No,
just
they didn't.
wait?
they, when I turned 8 years old, they put me, I come to Downey and went and said to Grandma's and went to start school down there, down here. And then they moved down. They moved there. You haven't been up Cambridge Cemetery, have you?
I don't
I drove past the church house and turned, right near turn to go north, then down the corner and go up right to the cemetery. And my uncle lived there, Uncle Charlie. I guess he bought a farm out in Virginia. That's where Grandpa Denney lived. He bought that place. We did that winter. Next spring, we went back to the farm. I went to Cambridge in the next winter, and the same thing. Then they bought this farm down there. Would have irrigated grounds and raised their own hay and that.
Mm-hmm.
After that, well, me and Benny take turns. Me and Benny go up and look for the header man, and went plowing.
And how old were you then?
I was still in grade school.
And cooking for all those men? How many men were there?
6, 7, 8, I don't know. Let's see, there'd be one guy there, one or two, one loading up the grain, and one stacking, and I don't know.
Was Roscoe helping them at the same time? Was Roscoe helping them at the same time? What was Roscoe doing?
Oh, he's just a little kid.
Oh, he was younger, wasn't he?
He's 3 years younger than me.
Okay, so while you were doing all this, what was he doing?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what.
Did he go to school? Did he go to school?
Oh, well, he didn't school after I started.
Right, okay. Did you start at a certain grade of being 8, or did they divide it into grades
Well, I
like
started out
that?
as a kindergarten, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was me and another boy. reported in the first grade one year. It seemed like we all went at the same time until lives, and we could read a little better, a little faster.
Mm-hmm. Was it a one-room schoolhouse?
2 rooms. There was a 3-room schoolhouse, but we only used 2 rooms.
Where was it at?
No, excuse me. It was 4-room schoolhouse, but we only used 3 rooms. That big tall school really helps the kids. And it had a basement, furnished down the basement. There was a big basement down there. In the wintertime, we'd go down there and play games. Because we went to corner and all that, and when it was cold outside, we'd go down there and play. We didn't, otherwise we played in the fox and geese in the small one.
Was that brick building in Cambridge?
I've got pictures on the way.
Okay.
So did you play with Roscoe a lot? Was he like,
Oh, yeah.
you like your friend?
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
you did most things with him until you got a little older?
I remember we used to play. I guess Mother would be playing in the kitchen, put all the kitchen chairs in the bedroom there. Me and Ross put them in a row, and we played like we was going to church. And I always had to be the what you call it, audience, and he'd pass a second with me, just like I was in church.
So yours heated with a furnace then, not one of the old stoves. You said the furnace was in the basement, so it had to have
Yeah, it was
a little
a
nicer
furnace.
than just a stove.
But the upstairs, there was a chimney up from that over the fireplace downstairs, or there was just a vent in the floor. Then they had a pipe over to send the heat upstairs.
So there were 3 rooms that were being used. Did that mean that there were 3 teachers?
Mm-hmm. They had 3 grades per room.
Mm-hmm.
There was the first, second, and third grade in one room, and third, fourth, and fifth, fourth, fifth, and first, second, third, fourth, and fifth in the same room. 6th, 7th, and 8th in the same room. That was upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when you were baptized?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you baptized?
Down Idaho. It was Marshall Springs then.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Did your father baptize you?
No,
Before you-
what, I think my grandpa was gonna do it. There was another man in there already doing some, so they just let him go ahead and do it.
They used to do that a lot, didn't they? It didn't really matter who baptized you as long as you were baptized.
Tree baptized me. I think grandpa confirmed me.
Was it right after you were baptized?
I don't know. But I remember going down there,
Uh-huh.
down in Marshall Springs. They had a old booth long enough you to go into, and then it was kind of a bathing place, but it wasn't close to near anything. It was on the It was on just south side.
Is that where they typically baptize people in the area?
Around here.
At least they had warm water to do it in.
Well, one. I remember folks taking me down there. We never talked anything about baptism, anything. We just took me down and baptized them. Not like they do nowadays.
Yeah, now they, a lot of times have the missionaries, or usually I think have missionaries teaching.
I didn't know anything about it. I think I'd ever been to Sunday school.
You'd never been to Sunday
I
school?
don't think so.
Oh, really?
I've been to going to sacrament meeting, but I don't remember going to Sunday school. These folks lived up there all the time. I guess they only get down there just one meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they had. I don't know.
So you didn't have like home night or anything? What kind of religious teaching did you have in the home? Was it just mostly or did you have Bible reading?
Mother,
or?
we talk about the Bible. She told me things in the Bible. She'd read it. But I always like to go to meetings. I always like to go to conference.
What were Grandma and Grandpa like?
I think Grandma, I heard Well, somebody told her, my mother-in-law, one of her sister-in-laws come there, and she said, their grandma's house is to clean it. You can eat off the floor if you had to.
Now this is my grandma,
My grandma,
your grandma.
Criddle.
Well, grandma's house was always clean and neat too. Grandma Hancock.
You can't see that about mine, though. I don't get mine clean too often.
We don't want to spoil him.
Clean in the truck.
So your mother helped with the farm though, didn't she? I mean,
She
she
did
made the
really
butter and she
Oh,
did,
yeah.
you know, those kinds of things, but did she do mostly things in the house?
Mm-hmm.
But she was a really good housekeeper, and I know Lynn said she was a really good cook.
Sure.
Was she a woman who was serious or who laughed a lot?
She
or
laughs a lot.
Did she?
Being up there place like it was here, when the kids all here.
Mm-hmm.
And I get together, Dad always laugh. Uncle Johnny was the biggest storyteller you've ever seen. He always remembered jokes and he'd tell them to you, and he was the biggest joke you ever heard around. Oh, that reminds me of all the Criddle found her lady hip yesterday, last night.
Who did?
And all the Uncle James's wife.
Hmm.
She broke it last summer.
And your father, was he quieter, or would he
Yeah,
join
yeah.
in the?
Yeah, he'd come on. Well, he didn't joke around.
He didn't joke around?
I remember when they built the house down there, though, he laughed and says, well, you kids don't have far to go, and now the house was not part of the road. You must far walk to school. We used to have to walk to school wherever we lived down there.
In Cambridge?
Mm-hmm.
And how far was it then?
A mile and a half, I'd judge it.
Right.
In the wintertime, Dad would take us.
You would never ride a horse?
Yeah, he rode a horse. He'd take us on a horse. He'd get me in behind him, or Oscar in front of us, running.
Is that about when you started school? Is that when you mostly got to know other children and
Yeah.
started having other friends? Who were some of your friends? Do you remember? Just neighbors, or?
Well, I didn't have any close neighbors.
So who were your friends at school?
Oh, Dad had Goodrich, Aldous, Goodrich. She lived, I guess, a mile. Oh, I'll have to tell you about my first car ride. My Uncle George was a mail carrier, and he got a car. And it'd take him all day to deliver his papers, mail. One time my dad was working for Uncle George, and I went down there to play with her. His daughter's Almeda, she was younger than me. He said he'd take us two girls for a ride. When he went to deliver the mail, he went up through Cambridge, up through Grant, and down. That'd take a half a day. That was the first car ride I ever had.
What kind of car was it?
I don't know, a Ford, I believe. Two-seated car. Mm-hmm. I was just tickled. I couldn't hardly wait to get home and tell Mother about that car ride.
And how old were you?
I just looked at it. I don't know. I don't remember.
Scared?
Huh?
First?
No,
Why?
I enjoyed it.
So how
Up
long?
to Grant and down Swan Lake, on this side of Swan Lake, and up the highway, down that hill, and go south from Grant, straight down, goes west, south. Sure trust in Grant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know where that is.
Keep going south and follow it right, go down. Come out there by Pratt's.
That was a good trip then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's an all-day trip.
About how old were you when your parents got a car?
I must have been, I was 9, 10 when Berta died. What, 19? 16, I believe, not 14, 15, 16.
Now, how old is Verda? Or who is Verda?
My older sister.
Your older sister?
The oldest sister I had,
But she was still younger than you.
she was 8 years younger than me.
How old was she when, or what did she die of?
She had pneumonia, she was only 15 months old.
Maybe.
Just a baby. She was a pretty baby. But they never had a picture of her. That mother felt bad about that.
Oh, damn.
So then when Donna was born, why, that summer they took her down and had a picture taken. Our picture's right there on the, behind you. I think that's her. Laying there on the cabinet right there. That envelope, or it's that folder right under, no, under that book right there. Here. Under there. They're on the bottom.
Started going, well, to sacrament meeting, I guess. You started that first, right? You go into sacrament meeting
It
and
was that great big building up there, just one big room, and had two big pot-belly stoves, one at each end. And they just had benches to sit on. In the first, when they had Sunday school, they had curtains in there, and when they had the classes, they brought the curtains, stretch them out and drop them down. Classes over with, while they roll them up over the wires. That was the way they had Sunday. I guess they made right after that, come think about it. Then they had lots of dances in there. They drove them curtains up, and there was a big platform up there, and the orchestra sit up there, and there's upstairs in there, and folks would go up there and read. Sometimes they would, sometimes they didn't. I remember how to sit there upstairs, and we had plays and that going up there, and I'd go up there and change the clothes.
but it was an actual church?
The building's still there, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's fallen down. It looks terrible up there.
Did you have an organ or a piano or
Organ.
an organ?
Von Dewey's wife was the first organist. I remember. She played the organ.
All I remember, that was Lottie?
Uh-huh.
All I remember Lottie is singing.
Yeah.
Did your parents church jobs or were they?
Huh?
Did your parents ever have church jobs?
Dad used to,
Home teacher?
home teacher. They call them work teachers, I think.
Yeah, worked.
I remember him always riding a horse to go do his teaching. He used to visit churches up different wards. I remember one time we went up to Grant Ward, and we all went with him. His aunt lived up there. His mother's sister lived up there, and we went to her place afterwards. Yeah, I remember that. Horse and buggy.
Grandpa had 70.
I think he was a high priest, but he was a 70. He'd go around different wards talking.
Did he ever do missionary work? Did he really do missionary work?
He was a state missionary. Freshman in high school. It was him, a guy from McCammon. Oh, I know how to do that one, but I can't think of it. He'd come down and stay there at their place during the week and they did missionary work. I'd never seen him. I was then. I was in high school. But they used folks talked about him like going out. And Mother tried the roadside.
You said you stayed at Grandma's house. Why did you stay there?
That's when I first started. Oh, I was in high school. I stayed down here in the wintertime.
In Downey?
During the week, every Friday, and bring me back Monday morning. So I don't remember. All until the last year. Well, tell you the truth, I rode a horseback. And the weather was good, and when they turned bad, well, I'd stay down here at Grandma's girl. She just lived right up here across the canal. Walk down here. I walk this house every day.
Did you know the people who were living in it?
Nobody young family.
How did Lynn's dad
A dance in Hines Hall.
in Pokey?
Down here?
Here.
Or store down
In
here?
which hall?
Huh?
In which hall?
Upstairs and over the store down here.
In Hyde's hall?
High store.
All right.
We call them in the hall. Used to call them that. There was a doctor's office and dentist's office up there. Had O's and that big nicest dentist up there. and great big orchestras play.
Where did they get the orchestras from?
Oh, they come in, sometimes local guys. And then on Christmas, they'd have dances for little kids in the afternoon, and the big people, the old people had dance at night. I remember going to Christmas dance down here.
And you were how old when you met him?
Junior in high school.
Mm-hmm. Had to wait for you to grow up, didn't he? What'd you do for dates?
I don't know when we started dating. He was there, but I didn't see him. I didn't know he was there until he came out and spoke to me. We'd have that dance. He said they'd announced. Well, I didn't sing. They told him they could, they was somebody they wanted, a girl they wanted to dance with. Well, just go tell them you introduce yourself. And that's what he done. He told them where he's from and how he come to be out here, and we danced. So. And I don't know how long after that, but no.
What did you do for dates? Where did you go, or what did you do? Was it mostly dances?
Our show.
Where'd you go to the show?
Shows here. It shows here every night. Those days. Had good shows.
Were they silent films or talkies?
So somebody was there to play the piano?
Uh-huh. There was kind of a hold on the front up there someplace. I've never even. I used to know somebody who played it, but I forgot now who done it. They used to have shows in there in the winter, called Chicago. That's what they called them. But there were live shows. The good one doing was something about the pines, Lonesome Pines. I can't remember now. Remember my history.
Mm-hmm.
What I can remember.
Mm-hmm. Did you date anybody else besides Lynn's dad? He was your one and only.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you date before you were married?
Mm-hmm.
How long did you date before you got married?
I told your dad that, well, I said we had to date 2 years. Well, he wasn't ready to go to temple. I had to go to temple. I was going to temple, and so he wouldn't, before a date, Sunday before we got married.
Tell us about your wedding then.
It was an all-day affair.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, it's on Wednesday morning.
Down where?
We went down. I guess it was Tuesday. Went down Tuesday morning. We didn't get there till late that afternoon. The license bureau closed. Nobody got a tell.
You got your marriage license in Salt
got
Lake?
marriage license then, just before the office closed. I guess you're gonna cut something meat, I don't know.
That wasn't important. And you drove down?
He brought his car. It was a two-seated car. Just us two went down there.
And did your parents come to witness the wedding?
No.
Just the two of you went up there and did it?
He got a room in there. I didn't want to sleep well by myself, so he got a room and had a curtain dropped between us. And I had one side, I was back in the one corner, and he's out where the door was. And he was laughing the next morning. He says, "Didn't you go to bed last night?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You're sitting on the beside the bed," and I went to bed, and he was on there when I got up. Sitting on the side of the bed. And went and had breakfast and over to the temple and was there all day.
So you took your endowments out the same day, and so did he? And then you were sealed, and it took all day. Why did it take all day?
It was slow. There was Berta Hyde got married the same day. That's Bishop's sister, Bishop Hyde's sister. And another woman, and her daughter's gone through, and she kind of looked after me a little bit, helped me. Because I remember being we all had, you know, one room, change our clothes and everything. No closet or anything, no room, you know how they are now. We just don't go up there anymore. There's the bench around to sit on.
So did you stay over in Salt Lake that night?
No, we went out to Magnan. His cousin was out there, and he was Oliver and I say Boyd and Claude went out there. They showed him a good time. He wanted to go out there. So he went out there, but he didn't do anything. But after work, that was all.
Did you have a honeymoon?
And we went backstage and had our pictures taken and messed around down there and Salt Lake and left for home. And they started going home. Said, "You been to the museum?" I said, "No, I've never been so much before."
Which museum?
Temple grounds. So we're close and we had to hurry through, go through it. And we started home. We got a lot of problem. I guess we wasn't talking away. And we got turned through one turn, went to go around through Deweyville and
The long way home.
it was about midnight before we got home. Then cars and Bricker. Didn't travel very fast them days.
And then your life as a wife and mother began.
Yeah, we stayed up. Oh, I stayed up with the folks and for a month while he got the house fixed up. I had to do a little painting, papering in there. I think he got a wallpaper on it.
You were supposed to do that before you got married, so it's all ready for you.
Yeah, he didn't have time. Of course, now we're going to stay there, and he said he had to go down. I said, "Can't we stay alone one night?" He said, "No, the kids were going to him." He went down and got them. That was it. We had two rooms, bedroom, dining room, kitchen, and everything. All one room.
Yeah. So what was it like? Were you intimidated going into a ready-made family?
No.
Did you get to know the kids before then?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty well.
Francis can remember, we walked along here, coming home from school, and she'd be out there waiting for the school bus and raped her. She remembers that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I hadn't met her before. I'd have been down with these folks.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get along with the kids?
Well, I thought them pretty good. Arden was the one he did it. Arden had trouble with. So she had to work outside of the house. Maybe she can remember me. It's like she always had to listen.
Tried to keep her in the house.
I
Trying to teach her how to take care of the home.
well, she was there in the house one time. I said, "Well, go on, be what was it? Instead of ornamental." Be useful instead of ornamental.
Ornamental. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you had your boys, okay, how old was? Okay, let's see. There was first Francis, then Larry, then Arden.
The other way.
Arden and Larry.
Arden. Okay. So how old was Larry when you had Ray? Arden's the youngest. 5. Oh, so it wasn't. Well, it was different for you, but maybe not for them having a baby in the house. What was it like?
Just a baby.
And were they attentive to it, or
Yeah.
were they excited about it?
So
How did Francis like having Ray in the house?
Ray.
Mm-hmm. When you had Ray.
Understand. Okay.
Did you like having a new baby brother?
Didn't ever say anything I never said anything.
What kind of a dad was Lynn's father to the? He would be different with his other children, because wasn't he a little protective of them?
In a way.
In a way. And so when he had his essentially second family, did he do much with the boys? Was he attentive to them, or did he just mostly?
He treated them all right.
Did he do much with them? I mean, like, did he tell them stories or read to
We
them?
didn't have time for that.
He was just always doing his farm, wasn't he?
And he had a bunch of sheep. We got a sheep after we got married, and he had them look after, and the boss gave us a couple of cows. We started out them your cows, and you got more, and they always had something to do. And
Well, as a result, you didn't get to spend a lot of time with him either, did you?
his cookies, meals, wash his clothes. I didn't have a washer until it was that winter after his barn. I took my little washing up to mother's and washed with her. We had the hall water, washed with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember the first time you got to drive a car?
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't a very good driver. Dad didn't think I'd ever get married. I never learned to drive
What happened?
straight. I keep wheel too much. But mine was.
Was it Grandpa that taught you how to drive?
He tried to. Then I drove the car too to school. I guess.
A teenager driving a car.
I drive it down there. Must have been junior and senior year. I drive it down.
Okay, can you remember the first driver's license you ever got?
Yes. That was after we married. I didn't have to have them then. Come down here and Jack Marshall. Yeah, he lived there where the doctor lives. We had to go there and get him. It's the first time I had driver's license.
Did you have to take a test?
No.
Just get a license.
How much did it cost?
I don't remember that. They both took them together. There used to be a fellow come down, I don't know how long after that. He used to go there in the city building and get a license. Driver's test. They just ask you questions and so on. I never did go anywhere I had to drive or anything. I used to go to Preston or Milan to get license. But I ended up going for the telephone. But I never drove it. Driving, they just ask me questions. Take my picture.
Did you and Roy ever go on any trips?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go?
Yellowstone Park.
Alone or with the whole family?
Well, there was Rain's Tail.
How long did you stay?
I was gone 4 or 5 days, I guess. Now that was a story herself.
Fine. I haven't heard about it.
I didn't want to go. I noticed it. Dad told me, said, you're going to go, but I have to tie you in there. So I decided I just will go. And I enjoyed it. Not surprised that she'd gone down to Montana to visit her mother. She graduated from high school. And her mother wanted to come out there, and she went to her, had let her go out there. I think I couldn't. And I went and picked her up. She went to her great-grandmother and out there, and we went out to see her. And brought Francis back with us. And the next summer, we went, took Grandma and Grandpa with us, and that, just took Grandma and Grandpa. But then she was at work, Francis was working up at, Moose, something.
Moose Lodge?
Yeah.
Francis worked up there for a summer or something?
Latin church, and we stayed all night at that place where she was at. Well, we camped down in front of them in the woods. I've been back there since then. And
Trips, when you were driving, what would you do besides, did you sing? Did you just very quiet?
mm-hmm. She was. Oh,
With his band and all, that he was kind of criddles and laugh a lot.
she was Boyd's more serious.
Daddy laughed.
Drinking beer and then so we get out and do things. Beer, so took that beer, and that was just regular beer. They didn't know that.
What did he make it out of? Do you remember?
Malt.
Grain.
Dad,
His brothers all come there and they'll make it together.
they used to make their own beer?
Uh-huh. Bottle it. It was good. Grandma Denney used to make dandelion beer. Made out of dandelion.
I've heard of that.
I've heard of dandelion wine.
There was 2 or 3 summers he made that, and they were doing that.
Did you do that much, Annie?
Visit, and we get all together for dinner. And very much. They had relatives come, we'd all go down there and have dinner.
And
How you got started?
Yeah.
Well, the Youth Committee's old folks party, it used to have it once a year, usually in the spring, in the March. It had the old people, well, it had night, and then it had the dinner for the kids, and then the next day. We sent dinner, and we're always on getting to have dancing. He played the violin, we tuned it up and played a piano for him, and that's when we first got started playing. Dancing, just at the violin and piano playing.
Did he teach himself?
Play it, he knew how to play it, he had lessons on it.
Oh, he did?
His dad was a musician, used to pick dances on my own.
So he kind of fiddled? Was it kind of fiddling?
It's called the violin.
So he played the violin.
Well, he didn't play the banjo, but Arden played the banjo.
Oh, Arden played the banjo?
but Dad, didn't he?
Oh, some, I think he did a bit when he first got it.
He played the drum.
No, he didn't. Grandpa did. Grandpa has his own piano, and he used to help play his own piano, that's what he told me.
Grandpa Denney?
He liked herd his sheep, so he said, "You're gonna sell them." Your dad, he liked them, said he'd take them and herd them sheep.
How many years did Daddy have his band?
Well, he was playing before Lynn was born.
Oh, that was a long time
Ray
ago.
and Thea were just little kids when they started playing.
I told me that they had a practice before I was born.
Yeah. He did. But I was fortunate out there. One of the wives come down with him, and she sat up there washing business with me, and she didn't know I was pregnant.
Pregnant?
No. And we found out I'd had a baby wife, said she didn't even know I was pregnant. Whatever it was. I think. He used to like to play. He liked to play ball too, ball game, baseball.
Active in the Young Men's in Virginia in the Mutual. What did he do
He was
there?
president. I didn't see the dance director, and I don't think the dance director was President Mutual. His Boy Scout.
Did you ever go back?
We went to Temple.
Did you have to get permission from his first wife?
I don't think. She won the custody of the kids. He said they're not, they're not. He said she would never have them. She never tried to get them. I don't know what the trouble was.
Did you go to Logan to the temple when you went to the temple, or where did you go when?
After that. Well, sometimes the priest would have a meeting, a special meeting, while he'd ride down with him once in a while. I never went to town.
Didn't have time probably, huh?
No. Didn't go to the temple like you do nowadays.
You don't have a funny story about Dad?
I got gas in my stomach, I can't try it out.
Hey, Okay, I'm just gonna leave it right here, and it's not even on.
Okay.
Okay, so got to look through all your pictures here. They're pretty nice.
Do you have any funny stories, Grandma?
Don't say so.
Yeah.
Kind of are. My mind's blank.
Ew.
Well, when I retired from the hospital, I had to work too, to keep her working. I worked at babysitting, then housework. That's what I would say. I'm gone. And my neighbors moved in straight up there. He come up to be the principal of the high school. And I started babysitting their kids, and I done, they all growed up, stayed alone. I done that for the kids who stay alone up there now. They're all married and gone away. He works, he's a school teacher down in Arizona, and she works down there too. But they're sure nice people.
Yeah.
How long did you babysit them for? Ever since they were really small, or ever since those kids were really small, you babysat them, or yeah? Right.
They were, I forgot how old they were. Maybe the oldest was 10.
Yeah. How many of them were there? More than 5?
4 or 5.
4 or 5, eh? Must have had your hands full.
But they were in trouble.
Yeah. How old were you when you were doing that?
I don't know. About 50 years ago.
50 years ago? Geez, so you were in diapers and you were babysitting these guys, because you're not older than 50.
50 years ago.
Right? A good-looking grandma.
I was in the 50s, 60s. I didn't start getting old until I was 88 years old.
Yeah?
I started getting old when I was 80 years old.
Yeah.
I used to take we had dinners down the center every Thursday, or Tuesday or Thursday. I used to go down Thursday and I'd take a whole carload of people down to eat dinner down there. I had 2 people up here by me, my neighbors, and one of them straight down there. I take them down to dinner every week. I enjoyed that.
You enjoyed that? Tell me what it was like when you were working at the hospital, Grandma.
Well, it was kind of hard work. A lot of times I had to stay there nights, work a night shift. And one night I was there, and the nurse would take care of a baby, and I heard a noise, and there's some water, and I thought, where was that? I looked up the hall, and there's a man walking down there. He's up at the end of the hall, and the surgery room is just up the corner there, and he's going in there. I went in there, and he went all over the floor. I had to clean that all.
Oh no. The joys of nursing, hey?
Huh?
The joys of nursing.
Yes, I was nursing, all right.
Has it changed the way of nursing now from when you did it?
I don't know. I just started as a aide. Then I went to Boise and took that test, and I started working as a LPN, licensed practical nurse.
Yeah.
I worked there until 1967, I think. After that, I started doing housework.
Did you not like nursing anymore, or did you
Well,
have to retire?
I retired. My feet was breaking down.
Mm.
I couldn't get around. I had to take 2 chairs, a pair of shoes, and chains and new. My feet was just hurting so bad I had to quit.
Mm.
I wasn't supposed to quit. I did. Well, I had interest down there. I got about $600, I think.
Oh yeah?
And I didn't start the other things at the time. We were not supposed to work so long. After that, I started doing housework and every little bit and anything to help me.
Mhm.
And then when I got so I worked at cafeteria and I worked started drawing Social Security. So that's helped. That's what I live on now,
Mhm.
Social Security. Well, when I was a kid, my folks lived up on a dry farm, just right straight up the canyon up here. Way up there. I never started school when I was 8 years old. Because folks lived up there and they never thought about me starting to school. Grandma Criddle told her, you know, she's Criddle.
Mhm.
Told them about it. Sorry, so I had to come down and stay with her full with our snow cone. Then my dad would come get me. He'd take me down Monday morning and take me home. And the next summer, I found that my sister was born. And I started cooking up there alone. My cousin would help me, and my aunt did too once. And my dad got a header then. That's in that picture you saw there,
Mhm.
like that. So I didn't have to go up there anymore. I guess I think.
Just- Well, just say, Nicole, I love you.
Nicole, I love you.
I love you
I'm
too,
glad you
Grandma.
got married.
Go
He's a
give
nice
go
guy.
give your grandma a hug.
Give my grandma a hug.
Yeah, do you think you can
She's
do
her
that?
friend.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Love you, Grandma.
I love you too. I went all up with them too many now.
Yeah.
I went down to Manti. That was a bus we went on. Manti and Arizona, down in California, all them temples, Oakland Temple. Then we come home.
Hmm.
There's a group of us.
When was that?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
A little while ago.
After I retired from the hospital.
Yeah. What did you? Was my dad already in the military then? Hmm.
I think. Oh, yes, he was. Well, I can't think anymore. I like music,
What kind of music do you like?
church music.
Bluegrass music.
Rock and roll music.
No, I don't.
Remember when I came over and you watched the bluegrass band on TV with me? You don't remember that? You introduced me to bluegrass music.
Was it pretty?
It was nice. I liked it. The banjos and guitars and everything.
I listened to. Hold on, Nashville now. A lot of music there. It's all. It is classical music.
Beethoven and
It's dressed any way I want to. Western music.
Mhm.
Play the guitars and mandolins and all that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Hmm.
You see my tape roll over there. See them right there?
In the back room here.
Right there, behind you.
Oh yeah. Player.
Michelle, Sandy got me that last summer for
Hmm.
my birthday. She was here. I sure liked it.
I bet.
And I played it. Well, you look and see what kind of music I like. I like easy music. I guess that's right. I don't like this. Jitterbug.
What?
Jitterbug.
Jitterbug. That's the new fandangled music, right? They've messed up all the good stuff, right, Grandma?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We love you, Grandma.
You too. I'm glad you two got together. Did you run him down?
Of course.
Yeah.
I thought you did. got something wrong with my ears and my voice sounds funny to me.
Well, same thing with me, Grandma. Every time I hear my voice when it's recorded, right? When I hear it, it's that doesn't sound like me at all.
Well, my voice has changed. It just sounds different to me.
Yeah.
It's not that different.
It seems like there's something breathing in my ear.
Yeah.
It's aggravating. It isn't as it used to be.
Yeah.
It's one of those hot dates. He's breathing in your ear.
I wish this accident hadn't happened.
You broke your hip? Yeah.
We all wish that didn't happen. We don't need that.
That's when they used to take things off the floor. You've seen them before?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, they sure handle too good. I can't bend my leg. I can't use it for anything. I have to use that to pull my pants up or anything. Put
Yeah.
the shoes on.
Your little dripper?
I call that my brick rubber.
Picker-upper.
Handy.
I do that for everything.
Whoa, look at
There you
that.
are. But I can't sign my name with it. Yep.
I get off the road cleaned up down here. Are you recording all that?
No, I'm not recording that. I'm just looking at it.
My mouth is dry.
Yeah?
You need a drink?
You drink of water? I'm just waiting for you to get to say something, then I'd start recording, but
I'm through out there around.
yeah.
I know I wish somebody clean up my yard. I don't expect you to do it, Lord. Clean up my leaves out there. And this guy across the street or so. Well, he lives there with his mother and he's cleaning up to it this morning. Boy, it's a lot.
A lot of work, eh?
I like this view right here.
Mm-hmm.
I can see planes that once they come across this way, you go over that way. But usually go that way. Just traveling fast. There was a lot this morning.
Yeah.
I'm watching them there. There goes one right there now. You see it?
An airplane?
Yeah. It's a jet.
Oh yeah, it's clear out there.
Like going to Montana. They're just going one after the other one up there. They have usually have dark in the stream and they go like that.
Hmm.
And someone's going this way.
Yeah.
They're easy fun to watch. I like my home. You're on the right moment, so I'll like to go somewhere else and stay, so I won't have to do so much, but I wouldn't be happy doing that. I know it's been hard on me.
You need to find a roommate.
A sexy one.
I'm too old for that now. Oh, I didn't want to get married.
Who cares if we'll get married as long as he's sexy, right? I'm just joking with you, Grandma.
I can guess. I'm just advertising it. I think it's this paper here. Advertising some books.
Are you going to go back to being a swimsuit model?
Don't know whether I can find it or not.
I don't know which magazine you have there.
It's good
Maybe it
housekeeping.
wasn't this one.
Oh, okay.
I've got everything down here. You like muffins?
Mm-hmm.
I do too. I burnt my last ones. The temperature turned up too high.
Oh.
Nothing bad.
see Grandma's original
Like blueberry.
oven.
Original oven over there. That's a microwave and a other one. That's an original underneath it, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And she's got, if you lean back a bit, huh? She's got like a real oven here. Still quite classic. Got the old time and the old knob down there. Zoom in, maybe be able to get it.
What you doing?
I was just taping your oven. Just because we don't see those ones anymore.
Maybe I should take him on a tour of the house.
Is that okay, Grandma? Get to go through the house?
I like my kitchen.
Yeah?
It's pretty white.
Mm-hmm. New cupboards.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. Except for those ones back there.
I can't get up there and clean that cupboard out. I got arthritis in my arms, and I can't raise my arms to do that anymore. So it just has to stay there.
That's okay.
It has to be okay.
Somebody's service project.
Just that I can clean out after I die.
We go for a tour?
I'm making eyes at Grandma.
Ooh.
My lips are dry. I guess the feelings on my lips and the fingers. That's the reason I have a stick there, which I slubber. I mean, I have a
Cloth?
bad thing.
Have a straw?
I use them all the time. And there's some of them cut down short to won't be so long.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pills I have to take every day. I just had got that today. That's my thyroid.
Mm.
I call up and tell them I'm out, and they send that down.
Good.
And I send a check back. In fact, the check's on television back there.
Mm-hmm. Good, good.
This is Grandma's house. That's her new cupboards.
I can't reach up and
Those
talk
are
to the
all
shelves
bottom
there
ones.
The
anymore.
bottom ones are new. Okay, I was gonna go, wow.
And pick the things over there. Take them pictures off.
Well, that's the way it's always is, isn't it, Grandma? Look at that faucet up there. For the sink
I
down
just
there.
keep my dishes washed up.
Yeah. See a clean sink.
And that sink was which put in last spring,
Yeah.
a year ago.
And then we have a new fancy fridge freezer. It's nice. Got all family and nice sayings up there in the fridge. These are Grandma's flowers. She takes really good care of them. They look really nice. Let me turn around. These are cupboards and work area for tending your plants. Old washer. Dryer over here. And what is this? Is this the old washer?
Looks like it.
Looks like an old washer to me. Try and open it up. Could be. I'm not quite sure what that is. We'll have to ask Grandma.
An old oven or something.
Old oven, yeah. Looks like an old cooking deal. Is that numbers that are on the dial?
Yep.
Yeah.
150 to 500.
Yeah, I think it's a cooking utensil. Utensil? I don't know. It's a pretty big utensil. Okay. Here's Grandma's backyard. This is, I was going to look up. There's a little bit of an eave there. Show you what. So this is the type of weather that we're having here. It is just beautiful. This is Grandma's bedroom. It's a very nice place. Stuff on the walls. Very nice dresser. With, look at this, nice mirror. A beautiful bureau. She has more drawers here underneath the stairs. And then that's her living room in through there. But it's all connected with the bathroom. It's in here. Medicine chest. A window. And there. These are Grandma's stairs. So we're gonna head up. This is a beautiful metal framed bed. I'm guessing it's metal. It's metal, right? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is where that blanket that we got from Grandma was on this bed. And this is just one of the rooms up on top here in Grandma's house. Got a little closet. Is there anything in there, huh? Oh, it's bigger than I thought it would be. Right, but this is how much headroom you have in here. So let's go to the other one. This is another room. This is where Nicole and Michelle would sleep in Grandma's house. Another showing you how much headroom you got there. It's a very nice little quaint place. Yet another chest of drawers with a nice mirror on top, and that looks like that one would swivel for you. And then a couple things to decorate the walls. And my beautiful wife.
Lethbridge.
Lethbridge. There's my beautiful wife, Nicole. And some pictures of horses. The doors from Grandma's room. When we come in here, and you have state-of-the-art Sanyo TV. Oh. Then you got Grandma's chair. Very nice. And a nice picture of Jesus on the wall. And then, oh!
Bill brought that bar up there from Israel.
Yeah?
Yeah? On the TV? Oh. Turn around and get the TV here. This one? Which one are we talking about? This little statue here. That's nice.
I like my temples in here.
Yeah. And we have
I got all these books for Christmas.
Did you?
a little sitting area. Grandma has decorated up.
I got ours too.
Grandma's record collection. Books. And back into the main living room. Here's the front door. I wonder if we can
Well,
see
I
it.
give you that plan. It was just a little tiny thing.
There's the car.
Yeah.
See that top one there? That just didn't come in this year.
The tree?
Uh-huh.